Do you think you really know the women you get involved with? That they show who they truly are from the start? What if I told you that even before the first kiss, the first date, or the first smile, many women have already begun testing every limit of yours, every reaction, every hidden weakness? Today, in this video, you will discover how to identify these silent tests. Notice when someone is trying to shape you emotionally, and, most importantly, how to flip the game and become the true prize. Before any relationship starts to destroy your peace and confidence. In the next few minutes, we will dive into psychological strategies, subtle signs, and behavior patterns that most men ignore, revealing the truth that no one has the courage to tell you. Get ready, because what you are about to learn here can change the way you see all your relationships from now on. If topics like psychology, philosophy, and the darkness of the human soul interest you, subscribe to the channel now. Do you believe the game begins only at the first date? You are mistaken. It begins much earlier, the moment eyes meet. A silent, almost instinctive mechanism is activated that measures everything about you. The firmness of your gaze, the posture of your body, the cadence of your voice, the space you occupy, and the space you give without noticing. She's not just looking at you. She is analyzing, weighing, noting every detail in an internal radar that works like a biological relay, built over generations to identify strength, vulnerability, and value. It is not a matter of conscious malice. It is instinct survival. In ancient times, choosing the wrong man could mean hunger, abandonment, or even death. Today, the physical risk has decreased, but the emotional programming remains. The need to test, observe, measure, and understand if you are strong enough to protect or easy enough to be controlled is alive. Every gesture of yours is evaluated. Every word is analyzed. And often, you do not even realize you are responding to a test that began before you even noticed her presence. Perhaps she arrives late on purpose just to observe your patience. Perhaps she mentions ex-boyfriends not out of nostalgia, but to measure your emotional control. Perhaps she provokes small contradictions or suggestions just to see if you bend, accept, or remain firm. Every reaction of yours is recorded as a silent response. Every response a grade on an exam you did not know you were taking. Meanwhile, you were too busy trying to impress, trying to be interesting, trying to earn acceptance. The most common mistake men make is entering this game already at a disadvantage, chasing approval and attention without realizing they are being evaluated. By giving in early, by smiling to please, you surrender ground. Gradually, she begins to shape you, turning your generosity into fragility and your effort into expectation. And when you realize it, your boundaries have been crossed, your voice weakened, your respect diminished not because of cruelty, but because you allowed it to happen. It is at this point that many men get lost. They try to fit into the other person's mold, sacrificing identity and values, believing that pleasing is the way to be loved. It is not. True strength is not in yielding, but in perceiving, observing, and consciously choosing, even before any relationship becomes physically or emotionally intense. Every small gesture of yours, every action, is an opportunity to demonstrate firmness, clarity, and self-respect. The invisible game also manifests in subtleties. An exaggerated compliment, a calculated smile, a studied reaction. It is all part of an ancient, almost biological pattern that measures your consistency, your confidence, and your ability to remain intact under pressure. She is observing not only what you do, but how you do it, how you react to the unexpected, how you behave under small challenges. This may seem subjective, but these are concrete signs of character and emotional stability. The key to flipping this game is simple, but few realize it. You can also observe, measure, and test before yielding emotionally. By understanding that every meeting, every interaction, Every gesture is also a test for you. You stop being the passive evaluated and become an active part of the equation. It is not about manipulating, acting cold, or becoming distant, but about regaining control over your energy and emotional life. Finally, realizing the invisible game means understanding that it is not just about winning someone over, but about protecting yourself. Every choice, every observation, every subtly applied test helps reveal who's truly by your side. And when you learn to recognize these signs before the initial charm turns into an emotional prison, you place yourself at the center of your life's narrative. You stop being the candidate and become the prize. Not all women are the same, but there are behavioral patterns that can corrode your peace and confidence before you even notice. The first profile we need to understand is the emotional bomb. She is intense, seductive, and engaging, capable of capturing your attention immediately. But behind this charm is a pattern of constant instability. Small disagreements or innocent comments can become emotional storms, and what seemed like passion turns into a permanent state of alert, leaving you walking on eggshells and measuring every word to avoid conflicts. The second profile is the validation vampire. Unlike the emotional bomb, she does not seek intensity, but constant attention. She depends on compliments, reassurances, and continuous demonstrations of care. In the beginning, you feel useful, important, a model partner. Over time, however, you realize it is never enough. Every moment you try to focus on yourself or your projects is quickly interrupted by drama and manipulation, because her emptiness needs to be filled, and you are responsible for it. The third profile is the controller. At first, her presence may seem like care or concern, offering suggestions about your choices, work, or friends. But gradually, these suggestions become rules, opinions turn into demands, and you wake up one day realizing that your routine, habits, and even the way you speak have been shaped without your choice. This profile does not seek to hurt, but she molds your life because you allowed it, giving in to small initial tests that open the way for larger manipulations. The fourth profile is the spoiled princess. For her, your presence is a gift, a favor you do by being with her. The relationship is always about what she wants, needs, or wants to experience, with little or no real effort at reciprocity. Any attempt on your part to balance the relationship is seen as selfishness. In this pattern, relationships are not partnerships. They are transactions. You invest, she enjoys. Trying to fix or correct this dynamic is an emotional trap. The fifth profile is the chaos creator. For her, peace is boring and tranquility is suspicious. She needs drama to feel alive, and if nothing happens, she creates it. Small conflicts are amplified, good moments are sabotaged, and you learn to shape your life to avoid explosions. This constant behavior drains energy, creates chronic anxiety, and turns the relationship into an emotional minefield. At first, the intensity may be mistaken for passion, but it quickly proves destructive. The central problem of these profiles is not just emotional wear and tear, but what they do to you. Gradually, you begin to abandon your own boundaries, adapting to avoid conflicts. Your tastes, routines, and even habits change without you realizing it. When you notice, you are no longer yourself. The trap of hoping for change keeps men trapped for years, trying to fix what does not want to be fixed. Identifying these patterns early is your only protection. Initial charm is always a partial illusion, a facade that hides behavioral patterns that, if ignored, will erode everything you have built. It is not about distrusting all women, but about noticing signs before they become irreversible problems. Every minute spent trying to fix someone who does not want to be fixed is a minute stolen from who you could be besides someone healthy. Awareness of these profiles is liberating. When you understand that the problem is not bad luck or fate, but repeated behavioral patterns, you begin to regain control of the game. You stop being passively evaluated and start observing actively. Every gesture, delay, provocation, or test she applies becomes an opportunity to see who is truly by your side. From that moment on, you no longer chase acceptance. You consciously choose who deserves your attention, energy, and presence. The moment has come to reverse the dynamic. Up to this point, you have realized that the invisible game has always existed and that many men enter it at a disadvantage. Flipping the game is not about manipulating or becoming cold. It is about observing attentively, setting clear standards, and using small tests to reveal the truth before it is too late. Every gesture of hers, every delay, every provocation becomes an opportunity to discover who is truly by your side. The first test is the respect test. Ask for something simple without requiring great effort. It could be an everyday gesture, such as arriving at a time convenient for you or contributing something to a date. Women who are genuinely interested not only comply, but go beyond, understanding that small actions strengthen the connection. Those who are not invested negotiate, make excuses, or ignore, even trying to shift the blame onto you. Respect for small gestures indicates respect for the large ones. The second test is the flexibility test. Life is unpredictable, and people who do not handle small changes well reveal how they will respond to greater challenges. Altering a detail of a date or a simple plan and observing her reaction is revealing. The woman who takes a deep breath and adapts demonstrates emotional maturity. The one who reacts with drama or resistance shows that your own peace will be constantly tested and disturbed. The third test is the investment test. Create space for her to contribute. Ask her to suggest the location of the next date or to participate in some aspect of the relationship. If she is truly interested, she will want to add value, show creativity, and take initiative. If not, she will remain passive, expecting you to do all the effort. This test clearly reveals who is a partner and who is an emotional tourist, merely enjoying the relationship without carrying any weight. The fourth test is the boundaries test. Set your rules and limits clearly regarding your time, your values, your routine, and observe how she reacts. Women who respect your boundaries value your individuality. Those who try to break them early show that they are not willing to accept you as you are, only as they want you to be. If she forces you to give up basic principles at the beginning, imagine what she will do when the relationship intensifies. The insight behind these tests is simple. They are not traps to punish, but filters that reveal behavioral patterns that would otherwise take months or years to emerge. The most common mistake is rationalizing bad signs, thinking she will change, or believing negative behavior is only temporary. Early patterns rarely change. What you see now is often her most effortful version. Applying subtle tests early saves the most valuable resource, your time. When you start applying these tests, something changes within you. Anxiety decreases, clarity increases. You stop chasing and start choosing consciously, realizing you do not need to convince anyone to treat you well. Those who understand your value will demonstrate it without you needing to ask. Those who do not understand do not deserve to be by your side. This posture automatically changes how she perceives and interacts with you. The effect of these tests is double. They reveal character and protect your emotional energy. Women who have nothing to hide respond naturally and enthusiastically. Toxic or manipulative women reveal themselves quickly, saving you years of emotional wear. You learn that attraction can blind, desire can confuse, the patterns never lie. Each subtle test is a vaccine against relationships that drain your confidence and destroy your peace. In the end, flipping the game means realizing that you are the prize, not the desperate candidate. Testing is not manipulation, but self-protection. It is about observing calmly and subtly, setting clear standards, and applying filters that reveal the truth. When you internalize this posture, every date, every conversation, and every touch also becomes a test, not to humiliate, but to reveal who truly deserves to be by your side. Only then do you become the true evaluator of your own emotional life. Now that you understand the invisible game, the profiles that drain emotional energy, and how to flip the dynamic in your favor, only one clear truth remains. You are the prize, not the candidate. Every gesture, every reaction, and every choice matters. Attraction can blind, desire can confuse, but patterns do not lie. Women who respect boundaries, contribute, and demonstrate emotional maturity will reveal themselves. Those who do not pass the tests will sooner or later make it clear that they do not deserve your attention or your energy. Remember, it is not about distrusting all women, nor about becoming cold or manipulative. It is about protecting your peace, your confidence, and your identity by applying subtle filters that reveal the truth before it is too late. Every small test is an opportunity to learn, to understand patterns, and to keep your emotional life intact. The difference between suffering in silence and walking securely is applying these principles from the start. The power of conscious decision-making changes everything. When you internalize that you do not need to chase, that you do not need to convince anyone to respect you, your posture changes, your value is perceived, and the natural dynamic of relationships is reversed. You start choosing who deserves to be by your side instead of being passively evaluated. And this choice is what separates men who live emotionally imprisoned from those who govern their own lives. Now it is up to you. Start applying these strategies, observe the signs, use subtle small tests, and perceive the truth behind intentions. When you place yourself at the center of your life's narrative, no manipulation or charm can steal your peace. You become the evaluator, the center of the scale, and the true prize that everyone should recognize. If you want to continue evolving, learning more about psychology, behavior, and strategies to protect your emotional life, subscribe to the channel now. Click the bell, activate notifications, and do not miss any content that will transform the way you see relationships and personal power. The choice is in your hands. Be conscious, be strategic, and always place yourself in control of your own life. These two videos in front of you are not here by chance. And what if everything you believe about yourself is only a reflection of someone else's gaze? Click now on one of the videos next to you and start breaking that mirror. You will have to risk the click. So, which one will you choose?